Seattle City Light is proud to support Climate of Change. Being connected to the Seattle community was the impetus behind the UW playing an active role in the development of a most unusual structure.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Steve, for the opportunity. We were eager to get a chance to show you the building.
That's because there is no other building like it. On the edge of Seattle's Capitol Hill, the brand new 6-story, 50,000 square foot Bullitt Center is being touted as the most sustainable, carbon-neutral office space on the planet.
This building really is the greenest commercial urban office building in the world. By far, it uses less energy than any comparable building in Seattle.
Rob Pena, associate professor in the UW's Department of Architecture, says it all begins with an array of photovoltaic solar panels on the roof. The idea is for the Bullitt Center to generate as much electricity as it uses over the course of the year.
Half the year, the building will be producing more electricity than it needs.
The energy efficiency doesn't end there. Automated windows open and close depending on what's happening inside and outside of the building to keep a constant, moderate temperature.
Just outside of the windows are the deployable blinds. So on a sunny day, if sun is striking that window, shades will automatically deploy. There'll still be plenty of daylight coming in, but they'll keep the heat from coming in the building, and that'll reduce the need for air conditioning in this building.
Down in the basement, things get really interesting. The Bullitt Center uses ground source heat pumps that tap into the heat of the earth beneath the building.
There are 26 400-foot deep wells that go vertically directly under this building. They circulate fluid down into the ground. As it comes back up, it extracts some of that heat with it, which runs into a heat pump.
The heat pump generates warm water that's funneled through pipes buried under the floors. Hence, the entire building is kept warm with radiant heating in the floor.
A commercial office building in Seattle, as much as a third of its energy would be used for heating. And in this building, which has a much smaller overall energy use pie, it's only 3% of the electricity.
There are other equally important aspects to the center. Rainwater is collected on the roof, stored in a 56,000-gallon cistern where it goes through a sophisticated filtration system.
In the future, it'll be used for drinking, for showering, for hand washing.
In the meantime, captured rainwater is used for irrigating gardens. And another important function.
This building has no flushing toilets. Instead, the deposits that people leave in the bathrooms will come straight down into one of these 10 composters.
Waterless toilets deliver waste directly into giant composting bins in the basement. A foamy mixture containing just a tablespoon of rainwater is automatically released into the funnel-shaped bowls to speed up the process.
You know what's pretty cool about experiencing these composters after they've been in operation for about a month is you don't smell a thing. There is human waste in these composters, but because they're working, because aerobic digestion is happening, you don't smell a thing.
The Bullitt Center prides itself in containing no hazardous materials, and much of the structure has been framed with locally certified Forest Stewardship Council timber.
Timber has a lot of great advantages over steel or concrete. This timber doesn't have to be wrapped with fireproofing that a steel building would have to be. So you use less materials, plus you have this beautiful exposed structure.
The University of Washington's Integrated Design Lab, an arm of the Architecture Department, will now be located in the Bullitt Center, as it should. The lab played an active role in the planning and modeling of the building and will now be responsible for monitoring its progress.
We do research on high-performance buildings around the state of Washington, around the country, but in particular we're interested in this building and using it as a living laboratory for our students and for our own research on how to make many more of these. Because if this is still the greenest high-performance building in a decade, the experiment will have been a failure.
That is the ultimate goal, to influence others to build structures similar to this one. Rob Pena hopes the lessons learned here will influence future centers on the UW campus.
The University of Washington and its leadership is very interested in the technology and the innovation that can happen here, that can be incubated here, and can transfer over to University of Washington's campus. So we'll be taking knowledge about energy and human behavior in buildings that we learn in this building and taking it to the campus.